Okay, Assalamualaikum and very good morning. So for today class, we continue our class. We focus more on another interesting topic in basic of multimedia and web technology. Okay, so we're going to look into the internet and cloud computing. So basically by now we have very important to have this type of knowledge about the internet and how the cloud computing work, and we're also looking into the basic fundamental aspect or concept that students need to understand about the internet and cloud computing. Okay, so I think I will start with the basic what we're going to learn during this class. Okay, so for today class, we're going to learn about this learning outcome. So when the lecture, at the end of the lecture, so the student will get more understanding about to simplify internet as a connected network. So the basic concept of the internet, and list down the internet services, because we have a lot of internet services will be available nowadays, and nowadays is a trend using the internet services. Okay, not only for education, but for entertainment and also for creative work. And at the end of the class, the student also need to have the list of the features and advantages of cloud computing, because cloud computing now become a trend, and most of the software nowadays, they will be run through the cloud infrastructure. I mean, there will be various of cloud services that we can learn or we can use, okay, to do our work and also to design our creative content and so on. Okay. So I think this is already done by most of the students. We learn about the definition of the internet and World Wide Web, www. So this is a basic component. I think everyone have learned this and will be understand about this component and the definition of this very simple definition. And we also have been through the web browser. So what is a web browser? I think everyone have used the web browser for so long. And we also learn about the search engine. So everyone have learned the search engine. So what is the search engine we would like, and the look of this search engine. So the most famous search engine nowadays is Google. There are a lot more you can search on the internet. There are a lot of search engine that you can use. Okay, we also learn about the HTML. What is HTML, CSS, and so on. And in our previous class, we have discussed about the web development framework. So what are the framework that commonly used by the developer and the designer to design the web site, the web design and so on. And on technical part, maybe you need to learn some more on protocol. What the protocol that we use during the development of the web. So what the protocol is important, so that when you develop the design of your website, you can fully understand the big picture about the infrastructure of the network. Okay. And we also touch on application programming interface or API, and we also learn about the definition of the client in the web technology. I mean the client, because in web technology, in ICT infrastructure, we look into two components that very important to form the internet. Okay, because we have the client who access to the server, and the server who provide the information to the client. So they will work together as one ecosystem that help the student or help any internet user to use the internet. Okay. So back to the basic. What is internet? Okay, what is internet? So internet is internet working. Internet working machine or services that will be available in the network, a global network. Okay, internet. Okay, so let me see the common internet. Okay, so internet. Okay, Okay, what is internet? Okay, you see the internet is
The internet is
this is the some of
The
the
other thing,
understanding
Some
about
satellites up there.
I picture in my head with like waves of internet going to the phone.
Somebody told me a cloud once.
The internet is a lot like plumbing. It's always moving.
Most people don't have any idea where the internet came from, and it doesn't matter. They don't need to. It's sort of like asking who invented the ballpoint pen or the flush toilet or, the zipper. These are all things that we just use every day, and we don't even think about the fact that one day somebody invented them. So the internet is just like that. Many, many years ago, in the early 1970s, my partner Bob Kahn and I began working on the design of what we now call the internet. It was a result of another experiment called the Arpanet, which stood for Advanced Research Projects Agency Network. It was a Defense Department research project. Paul Barron was trying to figure out how to build a communication system that might actually survive a nuclear attack. So he had this idea of breaking messages up into blocks and sending them as fast as possible in every possible direction through the mesh network. So we built what eventually became a nationwide experimental packet network, and it worked. Is anybody in charge of the internet?
The government controls it.
Elves, obviously elves.
The people who control the Wi-Fi, because then no Wi-Fi, no internet. T-Mobile, Xfinity,
Bill Gates.
Bill Gates.
Bill Gates. Right?
The honest answer is, well, nobody, and maybe another answer is everybody. The real answer is that the internet is made up of an incredibly large number of independently operated networks. What's interesting about the system is that it's fully distributed. There's no central control that's deciding how packets are routed or where pieces of network are built or even who interconnects with whom. These are all business decisions that are made independently by the operators. They are all motivated to assure that there is end-to-end connectivity of every part of the network, because the utility of the net is that any device can communicate with any other device, just like you want to be able to make phone calls to any other telephone in the world. There's nothing like this that has ever been built before. The idea that what you know might be useful to somebody else, or vice versa, is a very powerful motivator for sharing information. By the way, that's how science gets done. People share information. So this is an opportunity for people to think up new applications, maybe program them as apps on a mobile phone, maybe become part of the continued growth of the infrastructure of the network to bring it to people who don't have access to it yet, or just make use of it on a day-to-day basis. You can't escape from contact with the internet, so why not get to know it and use it?
Okay, so this is some sharing video about the internet. So basically internet, everyone have been using the internet. Okay, they're very common services that we can look into the internet, and the birth of internet will be because of the integration or internetwork connected machine around the world to become one of the server, and the server will be accessed by the client from our smart devices and from our computer. So this is basically the internet. So maybe to give some full definition, the student can look into your website and see the common, but basically the internet will be the interconnected component machine that serve as one connected internet. Then we can use. Okay, there are some facts and figures that we look into this internet, and there are a lot of facts about the internet, and then the internet will be very simple, okay, and so on. Okay, let me check on this. Okay, the internet is okay, we learn together. Okay, what is internet? Okay. Okay, so by definition, internet is a global computer network providing a variety of information and communication facilities consisting the interconnected network using standardized communication protocol, and this is the form of the internet. Okay, I think the history of internet have been discussed earlier. Okay, and maybe we can look into this. Okay, what is internet? Okay, so basically there are a lot of component of that form the internet. Okay, that form the internet. Okay, so as we can see, this is the basic component where the internet, I mean the ecosystem of the internet. Okay, so the internet will be the this place or cyberspace that involve the DNS server, web server, and also the devices as a client. I mean the browser through the user computer. Okay. Okay, so okay, and so another important thing, we look into the internet services. Okay, why we need these internet services? As I said in the previous slide and previous lecture, internet services, there are a lot of internet services that we can have from the internet itself. Internet services allow us to use huge amount of information such as text, graphics, sound, and software over the internet. And following the diagram shows that the 4 different category of internet services. Okay, they have 4 main category of internet services. Okay. So the first one is communication services. We use internet to communicate. Okay, for example, we can use Google Meet. We use Microsoft Teams. Okay, and we use a lot of services that are available on the cloud, on the internet, as a medium for communication services. Okay, and then the second category will be the web services, whereby you can access for the information from from the website to look into for teaching and learning and for presentation and so on. So this is web services, and a lot of web services, okay, that provide interaction whereby you can submit the form, you can do searching and so on. Okay, and the web services, there are a lot of category of web services. Okay, for example, maybe I can show you the types of communication services. Internet as a communication services. Okay. Services. Okay, so this is the communication services when you use the internet, how the communication network work. Okay, okay, so if you can see from here, okay, okay, we can use the internet as a services. A lot of component that is very important. Okay, okay, I think this clear. Okay, okay, we can use for collaboration. Okay, we can use for instant messaging. Okay, and we can use the internet as communication media for VoIP and voice conferencing, video, and so on. So there are a lot of things we can do. Okay, if we can using these services on the internet as a services. Okay, for communication services. Okay. For web service, and also for information retrieval services. Okay, when you look for information, you do searching. and so on. So this is another another category that also important when you use the internet. And of course, the World Wide Web will be the basic for this web technology. Okay, for communication services, okay, this is the common communication services. Okay, for electronic mail, normally used to send email. I think everyone have used the email for communication. So this is quite common right now. And in earlier stage of development of internet or communication services, we use telnet. Telnet normally we can use to log on into the remote computer that will be attached to the internet. So you can telnet and you can monitor or use other people's computer, okay, via telnet using to use as a communication tools. Okay, news group. So you can post discussion like social media and so on. So you can use as a news group, Instagram and so on. Okay, in earlier stage of development of the internet, there's quite famous communication tool. They are using internet relay chat. Okay, these are very in early age of internet. Okay, they allow people to communicate during a real time. Nowadays we can communicate using our smartphone, using a lot of application. Okay, WhatsApp and so on. Okay, Telegram. So this is also the concept came from the internet relay chat. And mailing list, you can blast information using email and internet telephony, because you can use this kind of technology to integrate all this communication. Instant messaging, we have a lot now. Okay, a lot of instant messaging, not only SMS. We can use using apps nowadays. Okay. And also video conferencing. So okay, it's like now we can do some video conferencing using a lot of platform in cloud. Okay. And information retrieval, this is the component that we can normally refer when we want to retrieve the information services. Okay, like file transfer protocol. Okay, and so on. Web services. That can allow exchange information between application on the web using the web services and application. So there are a lot of advantage. If you use the internet, you can search and interact using the application that available on the web. Okay, and I think I don't want to repeat this. Okay, but World Wide Web is a standard. They use one protocol. TCP/IP protocol to communicate between network and devices, and the network to network consists of private, public network, academic network, business network, and they form one network that integrate all those machine and services, also the server around the world, to form the internet. So internet carries the range of information resources that served by a lot of server around the world. Okay. And they have the capability for file sharing. Nowadays it become common. The technology be freely used by everyone. Okay. So another interesting topic. Nowadays we move into the Internet of Things. Before this, Internet of Information. Okay, Internet of Information. Nowadays we are focused on Internet of Things, and maybe in the future, Internet of Everything. Okay, and to give more understanding about what is the Internet of Things, is about the network of physical objects that are embedded with sensor, okay, software and other technologies for purpose of conducting and exchanging the idea with other devices and system over the internet. That means you can communicate all the things into one network. We call it Internet of Things. Okay. And they have a lot of application that we can develop, okay, using this technology, so that we can integrate, okay, any single things that will be capable using these sensors, okay, to integrate, so you can have another network that connected all things that involve cyber physical interaction. Okay, so this is an example of Internet of Things. So application of Internet of Things using if anyone have used this series or then Grab, okay, wireless scanner and so on. So this is one of the application. Smartwatch also you can be part of the network. They not only machine but the things that will be together integrate in to form the internet. Okay, Internet of Things. We can connect all the machine, wearable devices like smartwatch and so on. So this is the good development in the internet development, and hopefully in the future maybe we can have a lot of internet of everything. Okay, not only integrate all the devices, but they will integrate all those in between the information, not only electronic devices but things that non-electronic based. Okay. So if you can see the infographic here, okay, the Internet of Things, the evolution of Internet of Things. Okay, they use a lot of things to develop, and the most important thing, the concept of Internet of Things, to link up anything that can be traceable, okay, throughout the network. Okay, so you can have the webcam, okay, if you have CCTV and so on, you can integrate with all those things, and also to improve the functionality of the things and all the devices. Okay, maybe you can integrate all the sensors into furniture, and other application. That thing will be to develop the new innovation for your project. Okay, so it's really have the potential by having or integration with this technology. Okay, another section for this week, we are looking into the basic of cloud computing, because nowadays in early stage of software application, we normally download the application, download the software. Okay, but in recent years, the positive development whereby we can use the service without downloading the application. So we can use as a cloud services. So normally cloud services, we have the account number, you register and you can use the service. So this is the revolution of the application. Okay, you can use the services without downloading the system or the software. Okay, by using apps also is a key to access to this application. Okay, because you can operate almost everything using the apps. Okay, they have a very high integration with the back-end system. So this is the basic concept of cloud computing. Okay, you got the service, you have used the service, but you not have a physical installation of the software in your machine. So that's the concept of cloud computing. Okay, and to make understand more about this cloud computing concept, this is the diagram shows that the ecosystem, the infrastructure of the cloud computing infrastructure component. So basically there is a group, a network element to provide the service needed not by individually addressed or managed by the user. So they have one server, so that server they have application. So everyone who get access to this server can use the service from that server, so from that application. Okay, they have a lot of example for this cloud application. We use Google Cloud, we use Google Form, Monday.com is quite popular nowadays. Okay, you can manage almost everything. You can integrate a lot of application, even between cloud to cloud services. Okay, and this is a very stable platform and the infrastructure. So when you will look into this application layer of this cloud services, application layers normally is about the application, the software that you use to interact or to communicate with these services. So that application, software, okay, software. like apps, if you use Grab, if you use all those apps, so the application is a first layer, okay, to communicate between you as a user and the system. And of course this application, okay, must be interact with the platform. What type of the platform that we use to host the information or the application? The server, okay. And this is the infrastructure. It combine everything. It's combination of component like a database, the technology behind it, and also the object storage, and also the identity management, how you can manage, because everyone can have access to the application, but they will recognize by one single user that give the right to use that application. So you must have login password. So that's a basic access to the application. Okay, and this platform will be a lot of platform and technology behind this platform. So the platform will be depends on the type of services that the server is providing. Okay, so and then the infrastructure. So when you look into the bigger perspective about the infrastructure, it combine a lot of technology behind the infrastructure. Okay, if we look into the client side, the computing technology, I mean the desktop, the laptop, the smartphone, so they must have the similar requirement. Okay, I mean the required capability, okay, that you can access to this application. Okay, that's why when you have use the Android system, you need to download the Android version of the application, of the apps, so that you can access to that platform, and to make sure the platform will be standardized with this infrastructure that be used, okay, to develop the platform. So this is the three layer, the importance when you want to understand what the anatomy and the ecosystem of the cloud computing. Okay, and then there are a lot of benefit we can use, we can get from this cloud application. You can minimize the number of storage, you can store all the information in the cloud. And another issue that also important to look into is about the security. Okay, how secure the cloud application. Okay, so that you need to do more observation and do more study about the security of the cloud application. But the minimum requirement or minimum standard of the security, most of the service provider, they comply with the minimum security level of the application or storage that you use within the cloud application. Okay, so what is a cloud computing? I think cloud computing, I have explained a lot about the cloud computing. It's about the services that you use in the cloud environment. Okay, by using your own devices, you can still having the services of the application. Okay, no need to download to your machine. Okay, so this is the basic understanding about the cloud. As a cloud services can be used to synchronize all information throughout all devices. So this is one of the advantages of cloud computing. And individual or organization are carefully selected who share with the information. So cloud member can work together remotely on a certain project. So for example, I give you very simple example. Because everyone have using this Google Cloud application. Okay, if you see the Google Cloud application, there are a lot of services that offer by the Google application. Okay, you can create form, you can share file, you can share the drive or the storage, so you can still control who can access to this information. So it seems you don't need to install your application at your client, but the most important thing, you must have a very good connection on the internet. And so this is the new another revolution of the application. Okay, so this is the most common file hosting services or cloud services. Okay, we have the Zip Cloud Box, okay, OneDrive, Dropbox, okay, Google Drive, okay, OneDrive, iCloud. So this is among the popular, the common cloud application services that offered by this service provider. Okay, the file storage is allow user to upload file that could be accessed over the internet, okay, after the username and password and the authentication is provided. So the most important thing, how you can get access to this server or application. Okay, and I just want to show you some advantages of cloud computing. Okay, why we use this cloud computing? Because they can reduce the cost reduction. Okay, you don't need to have spend a lot of the resources, or you don't need to pay for physical storage. Okay, everything in the cloud. But now cloud, they have offer services whereby you need to pay for monthly subscription for the services, but it's still cheap compared to the storage. If you want to buy the physical storage, okay, to store all the application and information in the physical drive. Okay, and also they have for example, for agile organization, okay, they want to cut the cost of operation, they can use the cloud services, okay, and the cloud storage. Okay, for example, you want to have a lot of application for your services. Maybe you can use a smaller version, or maybe some limited edition of the services, so that you can pay less. Okay, and then device and location independent, so it not depends on the device. You can get access to the cloud information or cloud services as long you got the internet connection. Okay, and one more thing, for small enterprise and for maybe startup company or maybe individual, it's easier to maintain. Okay, when you have your own account, you can get access to the services without download all this software into your machine. So you become to manage all your services or your activity, okay, by using a lot of software. You just get access to the cloud services, then you can use the service and all the services that offered by the cloud computing provider. The services itself. And by using this cloud computing, you can increase the productivity. Okay, you don't need to think about having the lot of software into one machine. So you can access to a lot of application from the server. Then you can use the services offered by the service provider, and also you can monitor the performance. Okay, if you have a lot of stuff, you can register on the cloud services. You just use the services and no need to think about the storage, okay, on your machine. And in terms of security, as I said, is comply with the minimum standard of security control. And some of the service provider, they emphasize on the security level of the control the security issues on the cloud services that they offer, and then easy to scalable, okay, and elastic. Okay, so that means if you use the cloud computing, you can have some experiment to what are your services. You want to develop new things, new enterprise and so on. So you can still use the cloud application, okay, easier. Okay, so that's some of the basic thing about the cloud computing. So basically, the basic concept of the cloud, okay, is very be used by everyone nowadays. Okay, I want to show one example of cloud computing services. Okay, I normally use Google Cloud. Okay, Google. Okay. So if you can see here, this all cloud services. This is all cloud services. We have a drive, email. Everyone have using this email to communicate. And we have Google Drive, for example. You can store your information, okay, and organize in terms of folder and everything. So it seems like once you get access to the internet of these services, you may have your own data storage. You can store a lot of information here. As I see, a lot of data that will be store here. Okay. Another example of cloud application, you can use the Google Doc. Google Doc. Okay. Google Doc. Okay, you can share. Okay, and you can work together with all your partners in one document. Okay, in one document. Okay, one document. So you can have access to one document. Normally when you want to develop a lot of document, very thick document, okay, you can still access to one document and everyone can contribute the idea into that document. So this is about the advantage when you use the cloud services. Okay. So in Google they have a sheet also. Okay, Google Sheet. Okay, you can still work in one document and you can have a better control on who going to access to this information. Okay, to this document. Okay, we have this access to this document. You can access to this document. You can share to anyone that you think that will be want to work with this document. Okay, you can share through this and you can just add their email address. Okay, so very simple. Okay, no need to show to you. Okay, and there are a lot of services. You can have a chat, Google Meet. Okay, normally Google Slide, Google Site, Group, YouTube. So this is all the cloud services, photos, everything, Google Form. So this is the cloud services that offered by the Google Cloud. Okay. So I think that's all for now. Maybe if you have any question or any reflection, maybe you can just leave your message. Okay, leave your message on the comment. Okay, and maybe I will entertain the question later on. Okay, so I think that's all for now. So thank you very much and see you again in the next class. Okay, so thank you very much and Assalamualaikum and doing it again. Okay, so Assalamualaikum and have a nice day.